Anytime you're ready.
Okay. Welcome to the March 23rd meeting of the Human Rights and Relations Commission. This meeting is being held electronically to comply with the governor's Stay Safe Minnesota order. Members of the HRRC and staff are participating virtually. For members of the commission, please remember to mute your microphone when you're not speaking and raise your hand if you would like to speak. Commissioners, please remember to keep your camera on throughout the duration if possible. And we ask that you only use the chat function if you're having technology problems. We will have a roll call votes for each motion this evening, as well as for adjournment. I will ask Jennifer to call roll after each motion. I will repeat the motion for the record before we vote, and will also repeat who made the motion and seconded. We have a fairly full agenda tonight, so please remember those watching and listening in, and that your fellow commissioners as well, that we try to stay on topic. Before we begin, there are a few things I'd like to cover for those listening in or watching online. The public had two ways to view the meeting tonight. They can watch the live stream of the city's YouTube channel or listen via phone using the WebEx call-in number. There's no community comment during the meeting tonight. The city is committed to hearing and receiving your input on matters. The public can send in comments to the City Council or the HRRC through the Council Correspondence web form on our website. The recording of the meeting will also be available to watch on the city's website tomorrow. Go to the Watch a Meeting link under the I Want to tab on the homepage. Thanks in advance for your patience as we work to conduct this meeting online. So, Jennifer, will we start with roll call then? Are you waiting to see if
She's on mute.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay. Just had to get my mute button off. Okay. Commissioner Bennett. Commissioner Edwards.
Here.
Chair Epstein.
Here.
Commissioner Felton. Commissioner Guadarrama.
Here.
Commissioner Ismail. Commissioner Ross.
Here.
Commissioner Siegel.
Here.
Commissioner Stringer-Moore. Student Commissioner Boreen. Student Commissioner Lichtenberger.
Here.
Student Commissioner Mirza.
Here.
Perfect.
Okay. The next item will be approve the minutes. Is there do we do the changes first? Okay. Does anyone have any changes for the minutes? Sibi?
Yeah, sorry, it's a small grammatical change, but on page 1, when it says absent, I think it should be student commissioners plural. Like I mean, one S, but still, figured why not.
Yes, yes. So right after 2 roll call. I saw 2 grammatical. Well, one of them actually, it says 2020 Human Rights and Relations Commission Work Plan Number 1 Days of Remembrance. I believe his name is Manny Gabler, and it's, I think, Manny. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. And then a little further in that same sentence, it says, has shared with the subcommittee a timeline. It should be that can be used. We're just missing a T.
Yeah, I don't think he's many.
Yeah. So those were all I saw. Do we have a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
So moved.
Commissioner Felton, do we have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Ross? Can we call a vote, please, Jennifer?
Yes. Commissioner Edwards.
Aye.
Chair Epstein.
Aye.
Commissioner Felton.
Aye.
Commissioner Guadarrama.
Aye.
Commissioner Ismail.
Aye.
Commissioner Ross.
Aye.
Commissioner Siegel.
I abstain since I wasn't there.
Okay.
Okay. Heidi, do we know if Commissioner Bennett, is she still having some trouble?
Yes, she is. I'm actually in communication with IT Director
Sure.
Browning, and he is
Okay.
offering to help. So hopefully she will be online shortly.
Okay, well, the next thing we were going to do was introductions, and although it says introductions of the new commissioners, I think it's important that first we let the current commissioners introduce themselves to the new commissioners, and then we'll also have the students, and then we'll save the new commissioners for last. So just going across my screen here, if you just want to, it's the same generic stuff, but I think it's very important, just a little about yourself. But to me, most importantly, what brought you onto the HRRC? If we could start with Commissioner Felton.
Yes.
Chair Epstein, one point of order is if you just want to go ahead and approve the meeting agenda before you go ahead and do the introductions.
Thank you. Can we have a motion to approve the meeting agenda?
So moved.
Is there, for us, it was Commissioner
Mark.
Felton. Is
Mhm.
there a second? Okay, Commissioner Edwards. Will we vote for the approval of the agenda?
Commissioner Edwards,
Aye.
Chair Epstein,
Aye.
Commissioner Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Guadarrama,
Aye.
Commissioner Ismail,
Aye.
Commissioner Ross,
Aye.
Commissioner Siegel.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Heidi. All right, so Commissioner Felton, we were just going to do a little introduction and what brought you to the HRRC, please.
Well, welcome, new members. We're looking forward to working with you. My name is Mark Felton. I've been a resident of the city since 2002, so almost over 20 years now. I've served on this committee for just 1 year, so I'm new just like you guys. I'm looking forward to working with you. You couldn't get a better group of people to work with, speaking of my other commissioners. So welcome, and we'll work together. All right,
Thank you.
that's all that I have, Michael.
Okay,
Sir.
great. No, that's perfect. Commissioner Ross?
I am a retired attorney. I practiced labor and employment law for over 40 years. I've been a resident of Edina since 1986 when I moved from New York. So I am very, very interested in human rights. That's been my career for the last 40 some odd years. So welcome to the new commissioners, and hopefully we'll all get a lot of work done this year.
Okay, and don't take this the wrong way, Commissioner Edwards, but I believe you're the senior member on the commission in terms of years that you have served. So no pressure.
That's terrifying.
I think that's true.
It may be. I am a systems engineer, IBM Power Hardware at United Health Group, and have been considered a radical lesbian feminist for probably 50 years, 60 years. Moved up here in 95 to follow my spouse's job opportunities at Hennepin County Library. And I answered a want ad in the Current for commissioners. And I saw the ad and thought, oh, how cool is that? I can get back in. I was the president of NOW in Tampa. I had done a whole lot of organizing and stuff, and then just kind of parked it for career stuff and decided to get back in. So that's how I got here. So
Okay.
welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Commissioner Ismail?
Hi, my name is Fortuna Ismail. I have been with the HR by I think a year now, and I lead a women organizations called Somali American Women Action Center, and we're based in Minneapolis, and we basically help women for employment and environmentals, and just awareness for general women's everything. So. I'm happy to work with you, and welcome.
Thank you. Wonderful. Student Commissioner Lichtenberg?
All right. Hi, my name is Francesca Lichtenberger. I'm a 16-year-old high school student, and I'm here because I am a big women's rights advocate. I'm fairly new to the commission as well. It's only been a couple months for me, but I'm very happy that you guys are here too.
Thank you. And Student Commissioner Mirza.
Hi everyone, I'm Sibi. Just like Francesca, I only got on the commission in I think September, so I'm in the same boat where I get it. It's a new environment, and we're all online, so you haven't been able to be face to face. As for why I joined the commission, I move around relatively often. This is the third state I've lived in, second country, so every time I move, I look for a new way to get involved. And being a person of color, this seemed like such a great opportunity. I saw, I think, an announcement for my school, and I thought I had to interview, and here we are a few months later. So I really look forward to getting to work with you all, even if it is virtually and hopefully at some point online or in person, excuse me.
That's great. And both our student commissioners are being humble. They've contributed a lot in their short time with us here in the year. So that's great having you both. And I'm Michael Epstein. I'm just starting off as the chair of the HRRC and have been on around 2 years. And this is an exciting opportunity for me. The entire time on the HRRC has been a wonderful experience for me. We have a Jewish funeral home here in town. And so I've always been interested in human rights. And when we moved to Edina and I saw that there was a commission, which I had no idea even existed, I jumped at it right away. And it's been a wonderful experience. So I've had the pleasure of meeting our 2 new commissioners who are here with us, and they bring a lot to the table. Can we start with Commissioner Guadarrama?
Hello, my name is Leticia Guadarrama, and I've been living in Edina since 1995. I also a member of the Minnesota Advisory Committee to the U.S. on Civil Rights, as well as Minnesota Council of Latino Affairs and Camino, a sister city organization, and I do believe that we should work together to make peaceful interactions in a human rights way. Thank you.
Thank you. We're excited to have you with us. And last but not least, Commissioner Siegel.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mamie Siegel. Really happy to be here and happy to learn about all of your backgrounds. Like I think it was Mark, or maybe it was Richard. I'm a recently retired healthcare attorney and healthcare business leader. Worked in and around healthcare for 30 plus years. Moved here to go to work for Skip Humphrey, working on consumer rights, healthcare and other issues over many years. Long-standing passion for community service in general, specifically seniors and human rights, along with other issues. I am new member of the League of Women Voters, chairing the Racial Justice Action Committee as of May. I serve on the board of the Minnesota Elder Justice Center. And what feels like 100 years ago, 1995, I was the lead writer for Minnesota's Vulnerable Adults Act. So have a particular passion in that area. And I have to say, I loved hearing our student commissioners. I'm also the mother of 3 adult daughters, all of whom were student commissioners. So I figured it was, so now that they're grown up, I have more time. So I'm really happy to work with all of you.
That's great. So as you can see, with strong contributions, and we're thrilled that you're here. Commissioner Bennett, hopefully she'll get the technical issues worked out. And if not, we will certainly have her next time. And yeah, go ahead, Heidi.
So she is on, I think she is in the process of talking to IT Director Browning. She was also on the call listing, so she was able to hear part of the introduction. So hopefully she'll be on here later on.
Yeah.
On the meeting.
Okay, and I had a chance to meet her earlier, former city council member, and another. It's just very exciting to have her as a member of our group. Brings a tremendous amount of experience, and I can let her speak for herself, but it's important to know that. Okay, we will move then to the 2020 commission work plan. There's really only 2 items on there that we were going to discuss. Heidi, if you want to bring those up.
Yeah. And so those 2 items that just to be able to highlight, or not highlight, but just to give an update in regards to is the initiative number 4, which is the arts and decor rubric. And so currently the rubric has been completed. However, just the use of the rubric has not been completed because there is, with the pandemic, no one has gone into the city hall, as well as there's a remodel. So we're waiting for that remodeling to be done. And then when people are able to go into city hall, that will be completed. And then the other update is initiative number 6, which is the bias offense plan. And last month's meeting, the HRC did go ahead and approve that to be submitted to City Council. And that was presented to City Council on the March 16th City Council meeting, and there was feedback from City Council members. So I will be meeting with the bias offense group to just kind of go over some of the feedback, namely kind of just the definitions as it aligns to the Minnesota state statute. So more to come on that. But from feedback from the City Council was that they were appreciative of the work that the HRC has done on this. So this will continue to get traction, and hopefully by next meeting, we'll be able to submit that to City Council for their approval or their review.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Heidi. And just so there's no confusion, the bias offense will you also see appear on our 2021 work plan. The only reason we mentioned it with here is because there was that piece that was the unfinished business with it for 2020. All the other items have been completed. So I guess if anyone have any questions on those? Okay, we'll move right into the 2021 work plan. So initiative number 1, coordinate days of remembrance and recognition. That is being headed by Jasmine, Commissioner Stringer Moore. And I know that she is trying to get on the call here with us, but was running a little late. We had an email go out that the speaker that we had confirmed. So what happened was last year we had the event in motion, and then of course with coronavirus and everything else, it was canceled, and it was just too late to go the virtual route. And so this year we're going virtual from the beginning. The speaker, it sounds like, is available again and willing to do a virtual meeting. So now we're working on the date that the meeting will be held. And we're also, I think the format would just be more of like a, what do they call it? A seminar type presentation. So that's been decided. One thing I do want to mention, and for the new members as well, but for anyone on the commission, is that we do want to fill these initiatives. It doesn't mean you have to volunteer tonight necessarily for 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. But we do have 4 members on each, up to 4 members we can have on each of the initiatives. So I have been on the Days of Remembrance for 2 years now. It's a fabulous program. It's a great group. And if there is a commissioner who is interested in Days of Remembrance, please let me know, and I can step off that one and go on to a different initiative. But if that's not the case, then I will stay on it, of course. So you can let me know that, now or offline, whatever it is. But just know that there's a possibility for one spot for initiative number 1. All right. So we'll move on to initiative number 2, and that's the Tom Oy Award. Commissioner Edwards, is that? I think we're a little early. Do you have anything?
Yeah, we typically, that's a fall,
Right.
beginning of the school year type of thing. So nothing has happened.
Okay. So do you want to tell a little bit about the Tom Oy for the new commissioners? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but.
Yeah, it's essentially an essay contest, and we put it out to the public as well as the schools. We try to, I think, advertise it through mostly social media. There's really not a whole lot of ways to do paper advertising, but the group which is unfortunately only 2 of us. So please
Well, that's why I'm
jump
having you do
in.
this, the sales pitch.
Jump in. We read the essays. We kind of try to decide based on, you know, the breadth of service and the depth of commitment and whatever. I mean, there's a whole lot of fun stuff, but we don't get 1,000 entries. I mean, last year, do you remember how many we got, Mike? I mean, it was,
I think last year was it that many? 9.
did we get that many? 9?
I didn't,
We
yeah,
got 7.
So
7, okay.
7. Yeah, and so, you know, we kind of huddle around, read them, and try to. We had a criteria, and I don't know where that, I didn't chair it last year, so I'm not sure if we had criteria, but we could certainly come up with stuff. But it's mostly just a feels good, you know, at a girl, at a boy type of thing, and we present a certificate at the city council meeting in December. Heidi,
Yeah.
you're shaking your head.
No, that's right.
Yep. So we'll start working on it in the fall. And you know, Edina does all of the advertising for us. So, and
Yeah,
Tom
so, yeah.
Oy has a huge bio on our website. So you should, if you don't know about him, you should read him. He was an amazing human rights commissioner, and I mean, just an amazing citizen. So we've been honoring him for, I want to say, has it been since the commission was started? Do you know how long it's been? I think we've given out, well, I've given out one every year I've been on, but I want to say it's gone back 7 or 8 years. So
Yeah,
anyway,
he's one of the founding members of our commission, I believe. So,
I believe so.
yeah, there's a number of reasons why it was named after him. I've served on Tomoy a couple different times. It's one of those great initiatives where you get to see the fruits of your labor no matter what. I mean, at the end of the year, we hand out the award to some extraordinary individuals. Some of the applications, you just won't believe what people are doing out there, and I think it's such a great honor for them. And hopefully we can do it in person, maybe. I don't know how wishful thinking that is, but if we do, it happens at city council and a number of us go down there and present it. And if not, even virtually, I mean, you really you can feel the excitement in the room, and you get to see the recipient right there receive it. So that's initiative number 2. For initiative number 3, coordinate 2020 sharing values, sharing communities. Event will be focused on race, justice, policing. And we should note this is tied to initiative 4. Commissioner Felton, how do we stand with number 3?
At this time, I haven't done anything. I'm waiting for the new leadership, so I'll be calling you
Okay,
and kind of get direction
sure.
and into how to proceed and what to do. But for the new members, this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Commissioner Epstein, this initiative really ducktails into the George Floyd death that took place in May. And it's all about creating conversations. And we've had one before, and it was last October, and it was all held virtually. And we had, I think, 6 panelists from throughout the city, representing the city, the police, the just general community, and also city hall, city government. And we just talked. And we talked about justice. We talked about a little bit about policing and a little bit about race. So it was well received. I think there were at least 60 people there live, virtually. And then I heard there were upwards of maybe, I don't know for sure, but someone said there were 1,000 people or more that have viewed the video on YouTube. But as of right now, I'm going to contact again, as I said, Commissioner Epstein for some direction in terms of how often we're going to do these community conversations, what might the topics be, and I'm also looking for others to join. So if there are any of the new members would like to join, I'll be happy to have your help. And Mirza is also helping me with this as well. So thank you, Commissioner Mirza. Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner Felton. And as he mentioned, it does dovetail into initiative number 4. So for years, we did a sharing values, sharing communities initiative with the HRRC, and we did a number of programs. Some of them were on eating disorders. There was one on student justice. And then, of course, with the incident that occurred last year, we decided, and the city council decided, to focus on race justice and policing. And that was an obvious, I mean, we were happy to see the city council present that to us, because all of us had that on the top of our minds. And so we want to continue that into this year. And so initiative number 4 will be that community conversation. So the people who are interested in 3 know that 3 and 4 will be working together. So we'd love to fill those initiatives. And I guess I should note, I mean, we did talk about it a little bit in orientation, but we do get the work plan from the city council, and it's approved from the city council. And so that's why once these are made, they're laid out in the way that they are, and that's how we coordinate them. So let's move to initiative number 5. That's bias, offense, and incidents response plan review. And then a new part of that is that we meet with the police department representative quarterly for updates. That is a big change. You can imagine in the last year how policing was on everybody's mind, at the top of their mind, like I said, with the George Floyd incident. And so I should say the George Floyd murder. So we're going to have that held quarterly meetings. Commissioner Ross is going to take the lead on the bias offense, and I am on there with Commissioner Edwards as of now. So if there's another member who would like to join us, that would be wonderful. What is it, Commissioner Guadarrama? Okay, great. Thank you. We'll fill that in. What we do is we review the bias offense plan. We took a really deep dive into that last year, but it still doesn't hurt for us to read it as a group this year and discuss it. And then we will have those quarterly meetings with the chief of police, but we should probably talk once before the first one, just to make sure that we know the structure and how that'll look and everything like that. So is there anyone who has anything to add to initiative number 5? All right, we're moving right along. We'll go to initiative number 6. Review and comment on staff proposed plan to identify barriers for participation and reach communities of color through different modes and feedback. I believe this is Commissioner Stringer Moore's lead. Heidi, is that accurate?
Yeah, so this initiative number 6 is a staff proposal as far as how do we get feedback from communities of color as well as underrepresented communities that have potentially are to identify the barriers of participation. So currently the staff work is looking at different cities that have done more of a community outreach that is foundationally through Parks and Rec. And so once we get a better understanding of what their outreach looks like, whether it's the surveys or the different modes and the data that they've collected, then we as staff will go ahead and create a plan. And once that plan has been created, then it will be sent, provided to the HRC for feedback, as well as any other things that there may be additional gaps in the plan. So really looking to the HRC to provide their feedback as it is a review and comment charge from City Council.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the biggest takeaway from the 2021 work plan going forward, a lot of the work's going to start in the next few months, and you'll see these really ramp up, and the reports are going to be longer and they'll be more detailed. But in the meantime, I would encourage all of our members to, take a look at these, and please let Heidi or I know, or both of us know, any initiatives that you would like to get involved with. As far as I can tell, every one of them, except for 5, and because number 1, if I move off that, has the opportunity for someone to get involved. So, 1, 2, 3 initiatives. Everyone's schedules are different, and so we'll hope to populate those in the next 2 meetings. And if you ever have questions about any of them, need more details about it, anything like that, please contact Heidi or I. We can discuss that with you. The next topic I'd like to bring up is speaker presentations. So over the past, well, I think they've always done it, but certainly over the past couple of years, we've had speakers come in, and they've talked to us. And the really only caveat to it is that the speaker should relate to the current work plan. But we have a broad work plan. And so there are many ways that we can bring speakers in who would fall under one of these initiatives or something that we're working on or dealing with. There are really 4 dates for the speakers. It would probably be May, June, August, and September. The reason why I say that is because the police commissioner, or the police chief, will be in on 4 other meetings, and then the ones in November and December are kind of populated with some other items that we do. So, oh, I see that. Thank you, Commissioner Ismail. I saw the note there. So if we can, so if you have people in mind, organizations that you're a member of, boards that you're a member of, just somebody in the community you know well, and they have for example, we had a Just Deeds program come in and speak, and we were working on housing and the housing task force. And it was a gentleman who came in and was talking about how all the deeds had this systemic racism where they would exclude pretty much anybody who wasn't a white person from owning a home in Edina. The description of these deeds still exists in many of them. And he's doing a program where they go through and eliminate that racist language from those. So he came in and spoke to us. We like to do it in the beginning of the meeting, so the speaker goes right away. Try to keep it between 10 to 15 to 20 minutes, would be about the length of the presentation. And those are really the only parameters. So, if you got somebody in mind and they're available one of those months, again, please let Heidi or I know. And, would love to get some speakers in and help us with the topics that we're dealing with. So, any questions on that? All right. Are we on to chair and member comments? Am I doing anything wrong? It seems like we're moving along pretty well. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. So let's start with Commissioner. I'm going to just go across my screen. Commissioner Felton.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Epstein. Well, the first thing that I have is this commission appointed me to serve on the Edina Community Council in place of Jim Nelson. Jim rolled off at the commission last month, and this commission appointed me to take his place. I think he had served how many years? Maybe almost as long as Cindy, I would believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he's a good guy. But anyway, my job is to go to those meetings, and it's normally held the beginning of the month, and then report back on what is talked about or of importance. And just as a real quick overview, this organization is really a collaboration between the city, the school district, and basically the community. And the young lady that heads it up, her name is Christy. I forgot her name right now, but basically she serves as a one-stop shop. So anyone needing any type of community services, whether it is help with they're having a problem in the schools, they're having financial issues, whatever might be bothering them or creating an issue, they can call Krista, I believe it is, and she will forward them in the right place or right spot. So what came up to report back to the committee that is still timely deals with Hennepin County. They mentioned that I should tell you guys that the satellite services or the services that were normally held downtown at Hennepin County, it's been closed due to the trial. And most of these services have been sent out to satellite locations. And they ask that you call before coming downtown, if you're coming downtown, to see where your services are being held or located. Also, they mentioned that the service centers are still all closed. And when they do reopen, they said they'll probably be re-engineered to look almost similar to what we have now. And then the libraries. The libraries are starting to open for book pickup purposes only. And Cindy, maybe you know better. Is that correct, or is there anything new that you know of on that front? Maybe.
I can ask my librarian. Hang on a sec.
Oh, well, so no, I don't want to put you on the spot, but
various branches have computer services available because a lot of people go in there to use the PCs. What else? There may not be a lot of reference staff on site, but the library's website's pretty clear.
okay.
Edina has limited hours. You have to it's weird. I mean, they're open Monday through Thursday and they're closed Friday and Saturday. So the website's probably got better data than we do. So,
Okay.
but they are reopening. So,
Great. Thank you, Cindy, and thank your partner for me.
Yep.
And then lastly, all I have to report is VITA, VITA. It's part of the community action of Hennepin County. They prepare the taxes for those that are low income individuals. And as a CPA, that's what I forgot to mention what I do. I'm a CPA, but I'm now looking at pre-retirement or early retirement. I've just been dealing with numbers so much, and I realized that I don't even know how to add or subtract. I said I moved in here in 2002 and then said I've been here over 20 years, and it's not quite that. So anyway, I need to retire. But
that's COVID fog, Mark. Don't blame yourself. It's Blur's day.
All right. So, well, Commission and Commissioner Epstein, that is all that I have today.
Okay, thank you. I should mention for the new members that at the end of the meeting, we do chair and member comments. You can speak about, pretty much, to my understanding, anything you like, but most people have used that time to either discuss something personally that they're dealing with the human rights or a human rights topic, or they also, if they're involved with a group or organization that's holding an event or the like. So if we'll keep moving along to Commissioner Edwards.
I'm heartbroken over Atlanta. I can't say enough stuff about gun control, but I'm just furious about the connection between Asian women and sex trafficking and all the whatever that is. And I'm grieving for that as well as Denver, or Boulder, sorry. On a happier note, USF made it to the Sweet 32, but blew it out tonight. So unfortunately, we're not going to make it to the final 16. But it's the first time ever that my school has made it into the women's basketball stuff. So that's pretty remarkable. So I don't have a whole lot else. We'd love some help on some of these projects, especially Tom Oy. It'd be really fun to have a whole lot of feedback when we read these essays. So think about it and sign up.
Thank you,
Stay
Commissioner.
stay safe.
Thank you. Commissioner Ross?
Well, first, I just want to welcome the new commissioners, and if there's anything that any of us can do to assist in this participation, we're happy to do so. In terms of, I wasn't going to say anything about March Madness, but since Cindy opened the door, happy to report that my alma mater did make the Sweet 16, Syracuse. Although I doubt they're going to go very much farther. But it's anyway. And one other
boys or girls? Boys? Both? That's even better.
Both, yeah, they're both have good teams. I just want to say, I think Mamie, you may have met or worked with some of my former partners at Frederickson and Byron. Can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah, Commissioner Ross, I didn't hear that last part. I worked with your partners where?
At Frederickson and Byron.
Okay.
Anyway, that's all I have for tonight.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Ross. Commissioner Siegel, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'll just share two things. As I mentioned, in working actually with Joni Bennett, we've been working closely together on the League of Women Voters of Edina's Racial Justice Action Committee. And tomorrow night, we're holding a viewing of the documentary Suppressed 2020, The Fight to Vote. It's brief. It's about a 39-minute documentary, and then it's going to be followed by a discussion of what's been going on in the Minnesota legislature as it relates to voter ID and other voter suppression efforts. And the League has really done, I think, a terrific job of helping to share relevant information with the community. And then in partnership with the Edina Community Foundation, April 27th, I believe is the date, there'll be a community discussion of the book Cast. And I don't know how many of you have read it. I'm working my way through it. It's really disturbing, and I think a must read. So that's, I think the community conversation unfortunately conflicts with our commission meeting. Otherwise, I would be part of that conversation. But the book is really worth reading. And last thing I'll say, I mentioned I was on the board of the Minnesota Elder Justice Center, and we're having World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, June 14th through 16th, with a phenomenal speaker on ageism, which, you know, as many of us are getting older, it's, you know, always been a hot topic, but it's becoming even more interesting now. So I really appreciate the chance to work with all of you. Look forward to kind of learning from you, and happy to share information about some of these other things.
That's great. We're excited to have you. The first event you said, was that tomorrow night for the League of?
Yeah, it's tomorrow night. It's at 7 p.m. It's the League of Women Voters of Edina. If you're interested, the Zoom link is on you can request it on the League site. Or if anyone is interested, feel free to contact me. I'd be happy to share the link. It's a short documentary and really powerful, really powerful.
That's great. Thank you. Commissioner Guadarrama?
I'm a member of Minnesota Advisory Committee to the U.S. on Civil Rights, and we are going to have our first hearing for policing and trauma April 2nd from 11 to 1. I will send to Ms. Lee the link so anybody will be willing to hear the first hearing. We're going to have, I think, 4.
Oh, great. That's April 2nd, you said?
Yes, April 2nd, 11 to 1.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Ismail?
Hi, my name is Fatima Ismail, and I will say 2 things here. These are one thing that I'm interested to work with the rest of the commissioner and Commissioner Felton is Initiative 4, the community conversation. I'd like to be part of that, even though I wanted to be part of it last year, but it didn't work for me because of my schedule. but it's something that I want to be part of it, and it's really interested, and it's something that's happening on, on a daily basis in our community that needs to be engaged. So I want to work with you, Commissioner Pelton, and the rest of the team. The other thing I would like to say is I work with the local nonprofit organization, like I said before, and it's called Somali American Women Action Center. And there's one initiative that we're trying to host in beginning of May, and that is it's called the Dembil Challenge. It's more like a toe bag challenge. Dembil means the Somali word, which is toe bags. So we're trying to eradicate the plastic bags. So this is something kind of be like awareness to the community. Instead of using the plastic bag, use the toe bags. And the women that I work with are the ones who sew these toe bags, and they sell in it. So we created a website to put a link that you can purchase the tool bags. On top of that, you can comment and say that, some kind of like a challenge, saying like, oh, I have used so many times in my toe bags and I'm still using it. And it's we haven't put it together very kind of exciting way, but like it's more like challenging each other. Like, are you using a toe bags to eradicate plastic bag, or you go into the store purchasing plastic bags? So it's kind of that kind of way, but we will educate it. If you want, I'll share the link once we create the virtual with everyone, or with their, Haiti or anyone, and then that way they can share with you. So you will learn more about what I'm talking about. But that's one initiative that we want to put it out, and yeah, those are the two things I want to share with you.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Are you taking donations? Because we have probably 100 tote bags that we've gotten from trade shows over the last bunch of years. That might be an interesting thing to see if you can get them just piled up.
Definitely, yes. That would be great, because we have been giving out some of the tote bags that the women made it, but like not for free, because these women are working so hard. So they were putting some kind of price, which is not a lot, but to kind of like a win-win solution. Like you help yourself and help the environmentals. Like, give me $5 or $10, and then you take the tote bag. And this like a more like a tote bags, which are kind of more fancy. They made out of like a cultural patterns, like a Somali patterns clothes. So yes, definitely, we would love to take that. I will share with you, or share, you can share Haiti where I can pick it up, or if you want to drop it off to the Minneapolis office, where we receive most of the donations. Yes, we'll really appreciate to have that.
I think we always leave the state fair with at least 5, and I've got, I don't know how many from trade shows, because they're all advertising, but they're still perfectly reusable. So
yes,
good deal.
Thank you.
Commissioner Felton?
Yes, I just want to acknowledge Commissioner Ishmael. Yes, I would love to have you on my committee.
Thank you.
While I'm talking about that, I wanted to say I think we're very fortunate this term to have these 3 new members on our commission: Commissioner Gadarama, Commissioner Segal, and Commissioner Bennett. Commissioner Segal and Bennett are part of the League of Women Voters, and last month they put on an event called Slavery by Another Name, I believe it is, and it dealt with the restrictive covenants that Commissioner Epstein was talking about. And they did a fabulous job. And the reason I bring it up is this might be an opportunity to partner with them. I mean, they do excellent programming, but maybe with our help, we can help with the marketing and reach a bigger audience, maybe than the League of Women Voters. And so we can do some of these events jointly. Just listening to you guys' backgrounds. So that's just a thought. Anyway, back to you, Commissioner.
All right, thank you. That's a great idea. Student Commissioner Lichtenberger. I remember the at the end there this time.
Yeah, thank you. Well, first off, it's great to be back. So I apologize for missing last month's meeting. I believe it was my last practice before state for mock trial. I believe a couple new people here are retired attorneys, but yeah, I'm also, a mock trial attorney, and we went to state, and that was a really exciting experience. And then usually during this time, I talk about my club that I run at school. So I don't attend Edina High School, although I went through the French immersion program there. I attend Benilde St. Margaret's, and I run a club called Red Knights for Human Rights, but we actually just changed the name of it to Red Knights for Social Justice. And each month we have maybe basically like a different like theme for the month. So March is Women's History Month, and we've worked a lot with just talking about International Women's Day, but also just raising awareness for it around my school. And I'm really excited because I actually just got a New York Times bestselling author. I just booked her as a guest speaker for my club, and she women history, so that's going to be super exciting. And then you were talking about just maybe potentially having guest speakers for the human rights relations. I have a couple of ideas for that, so I might email you. So thank
Please
you.
do. That's great. Thank you, and congratulations with state. Student Commissioner Mirza?
All right, I don't have anything nearly as interesting as that, but what I have been doing is I've been working with one of the commissioners on the Arts and Culture Commission to get the virtual art gallery up and running, and we've gotten our first few submissions. So we're, I think they've begun using the Human Rights Relations rubric for going through those submissions. So it's been a really exciting process from start to finish because I hopped on at the start of this year, so it's been great seeing it grow.
That's great.
And then, sorry, I also wanted to say welcome to the new commissioners. I get how it feels to be new, so hopefully we get to know each other a bit better this year.
Thank you. I think that just leaves me. I just wanted to mention the Jewish Community Relations Council has their virtual Yom HaShoah commemoration, which is the Holocaust commemoration on April 8th. And you can go to their site, and sometimes that ties in or gives us ideas for our days of remembrance, and they're all a great resource for us when it comes to that. Something I thought was interesting was that Deb Holland, I think I'm pronouncing that right, became our first, she identifies herself as Native American cabinet secretary in the history of the United States. She's going to be the head of the Interior Department. So I talk about long overdue. That's amazing how that she's the first. I know Cindy mentioned racism against Asians. In New York City alone, the article that I read, it rose 800%. And so that is something that we've got to keep on our minds. And I don't know where exactly we go with that, but I do want to mention that because it's out of control, obviously, and something that's on all of our minds, and our thoughts are with all the people who have been dealing with that. I do want to mention, I don't know if you can see or not, but we have a celebrity on our commission. And Fartun was, it's a lovely article. I don't know if everyone gets the Edina mag. It's got a great description of the organization that you were talking about earlier. I believe your husband, is that on the cover? So it's a great, if you guys get this, I don't know, it comes to me in the mail randomly, but it's a great article and a lot of great information, and it's amazing all the stuff that you're doing out there. So we're lucky to have you. Go ahead.
I just want to say that was my first time seeing that because I just came back from Africa yesterday.
The pictures are the pictures are wonderful in here. I mean, it's a great magazine. So
yes,
I mean,
thank you for showing me
I don't know
that.
about the magazine. But
Yeah, I got the email, but I haven't seen the real article. People told me about it, and I was like, I can't wait to go there and get one.
I'll keep it for you too.
Oh, thank you.
I'll get it to you.
Yes.
And then I think finally, the other thing I wanted to mention, I don't know if you guys saw the article, and I don't know if you can see this on Yancey Park. It was also in the Edina, the next edition of the Edina mag. And to me, this is the most exciting part about being on the commission, is that one day we're talking about something like naming a park for the Yancey family, and then a couple months later, I'm reading it, I'm seeing it, I see the sign, and that's real. I mean, it's a tangible thing that we're doing. We're seeing results. Their name and the information that is out there now about the Yancey family would never, I don't think, been out there to the level that it is. So great job by Heidi and her team on public relations and getting all that information out there. And great job for the commission for doing it. To me, that's, that's why we're doing it, and that's why we're here, is to see these kind of results. So I thought that was exciting in both the Sun Current and the Edina magazine. So a lot of good stuff happening. I think we'll move to staff comments. Go
Chair
ahead.
Epstein,
Yes.
I think Commissioner Bennett has joined us via the phone, so she's been listening in. And
Oh,
I think that I can unmute her and she might be able to talk. So I'm going to try that.
okay.
And Commissioner Bennett, if I'll unmute you now, and if you're able to, feel free to join the meeting and share what you want to. If it doesn't work, then we'll just wait a minute and then can move on.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Great, thank you. So sorry for technical difficulties. We worked on them with City IT and from about 6:45 on, and have been listening to most of the meetings since the roll call. I did want to make a couple of suggestions on the speaker presentations. I had some topics that may be of interest to other people. Someone may have mentioned that the 2020 census results will be coming out, of course, this year. Due first out are the congressional district numbers, and they should be coming out around the 30th of April, and the League will be sponsoring a presentation by Susan Brower, the state demographer, on Thursday morning, May 13th from 10 to 11 a.m. That's open to the public and free, and non-members are free to sign up to receive a Zoom link on the League website, which is lwvedina.org. But by fall, the legislative district numbers should be available, and that can tell us a lot about our community. What have we gained for diversity, and certainly that helps us in our work. I also thought that after listening to the presentation to the commission that was made in November on affordable housing, it would be good at some point within the year of that report to hear what has been done since, what changes, if any, were made when it was adopted by the council, what work has been done. I also note that there was an announcement in the Star Tribune by the journalist Myron Medcalf. He is beginning something called the Mary Ann Key Book Club in honor of his great-grandmother, I think, or great-great-grandmother, working with the Hennepin County Libraries, and is encouraging the formation of book groups at all levels, churches, schools, community groups, and they are also going to be reading and discussing the book Cast, and are encouraging people to sign up. That might also be something that would be worth some time on the commission's agenda to hear about. I have a person to recommend as well as a topic, and that is Ankita Dekka, who is a professor of social work at Augsburg University. She does a lot of research and teaching on health disparities, which I think would be a topic of interest as well. And finally, another article from the Star Tribune, but that the topic has appeared elsewhere, is the concept of calling out versus calling in. Again, don't know if someone has mentioned that earlier in this meeting, but I think that would be very interesting topic for us to hear about, and then also for the community to hear about.
That's great. Great suggestions. Thank you.
So I apologize again profusely for missing you face to face, but do appreciate the work that everyone has been doing and the leadership that this body has been providing in the community, and I'm very grateful to become a part of this work, and am happy to put my skills and time where the other commissioners think best.
That's great. And you're truly a member of the HRRC Commission, because every one of us has had technical problems at one meeting or another. So that makes you official. And literally, I think every one of us. So don't sweat it. And next month, I'm sure we'll get it all worked out. And I'm glad you could join us by the phone.
Oh, and Chair, I have one other event to announce. I'm sorry to have forgotten that sooner, and that is that the League on April 8th in the morning is sponsoring a presentation by Duchess Harris. And the title of it is How Black Women Are Changing Politics and Influencing Elections. Again, that's 10 to 11:30 a.m., free and open to all via Zoom. And League members will receive the link. Non-members are welcome to request the Zoom link at the League website, lwvedina.org.
Okay, great. So it sounds like there's a number of events for that website if you sign up, and if you sign up, then they just send you the Zoom link. Is that?
Yes, the way it works is that most commonly, particularly for the morning meetings, League members automatically receive the email a day or two in advance. Non-members should request the link per event, and there's always a connection, a link to click on in the notice of the event.
That's great. Okay, great. Well, thank you. I'm glad we got at least I got to hear you on the phone here.
Thank you very much. And again, thanks to everyone for all the work that people are doing.
Great. Okay. And these screens kind of move on me, but I think we covered everybody. And then we would move to staff comments.
Yep, I just have a couple. For staff comments, I am in conversation with some folks from the Hennepin Library, and so they did provide me an update that moving forward, all the fines and previous fines have been erased. So going forward with Hennepin County Libraries. So that is great to hear. And I just wanted to give that update to the HRC. And then also in addition to what you had provided, Chair Epstein, is that Edina magazine will also be doing a story on the Seeds of Change. So with the Tom Oya Award that was provided or that was given will be on the story for, I believe, the May edition. And so I will be reaching out to the folks that were on that subcommittee to see if they are willing to provide a interview with Ava Diaz, who is from the Edina magazine, to provide their perspective on the Tom Oya Award as well. That's
great. So we're filling up their whole magazine with all our good stuff. That's neat. Okay, and so I believe if there's no other comments, we can have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Commissioner Ross, do we have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Felton. Jennifer, if you could call roll, please.
Yeah. Commissioner Bennett?
Aye.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Chair Epstein?
I just don't want it to end, you know, it's my, no, aye.
Commissioner Felton?
Aye.
Great job.
Commissioner Gadarama?
Aye.
Commissioner Ishmael?
Aye.
Commissioner Ross?
Aye.
Commissioner Siegel?
Aye.
That's it.
Okay. All right, well, we'll see everyone next month, and I'm sure a lot of us will be talking in the meantime via email and working on all our good stuff. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Good job, Michael.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Knocked it out of the park, Michael.
Uh-oh. Now the next meetings I'll be.
It's got to be a sports thing, right?
The first one.
Okay, you dunked it. How's that?
That's great. Good night, everyone. Thank you.